just hitting the record button on the class now, because we share this recording with the wider community. So not just exclusively for Live Karma Yoga, but also some of our studio partners as well. So I'm just saying good morning to, or good afternoon or good evening to Yoga Hub as well. We are going to start in child's pose. So the invitation is to have a block, bolster or cushions nearby. And we'll start in child's pose. So if it's really uncomfortable on your stomach or your knees, you can actually take child's pose on your back. It's not a problem. And if you had a cushion or a bolster, a few choices. You could just slide the bolster between your legs and just lie down, or you could use the pillow to kind of rest on your forehead. Same with the block, okay? Now, some of you are talking about working into shoulders, and we will definitely get that. However, you may just want to walk your hands forward a little bit, maybe even bending at the elbows and resting your fingertips either on the top of the shoulder blade or bringing the palms together behind the neck. And we're going to stay here for a moment. So use this opportunity to maybe stretch the fingertips forward or reach the elbows, whichever variation you're taking. And then as you do that, could you take a really nice, deep, long breath in? And then as you breathe out through the mouth, release. And then we're going to do that again. So take a full breath in, fill up, pause, and then open your mouth. And as if you're trying to fog up a window, feel that noise and that vibration. Now, can you close the mouth and breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, starting to cultivate a presence of Ujjayi breathing. So it doesn't need to be super forceful or noisy. It can be quite melodic and soft. And then just give yourself these moments to ground down and center. So your forehead is connecting to something, maybe the pillow, maybe a block. If you would like, you're welcome to just ease your forehead from one side to the other. Keep that awareness and presence on your breath. And feel your sitting bones become a little bit heavier as your hips draw down towards your heels. The last few moments here. And there's that presence of Ujjayi breath. And that opportunity to settle in, ground down, and rest. Okay, from here, just very simply, we're just going to lift ourselves up quite slowly. And we're going to come to lie on our back. So take your time. You might just use and move away some of your props. Rolling down. And then just lift your knees in towards your chest. So you're actually doing child's pose a bit in reverse. If you would like to use your hands to draw your knees slightly in. So you can feel the spine in the ground, maybe a little bit of movement here, especially if the mind feels a little bit busy. Try and bring a little bit of attention into the body by inviting some movement. And then ask yourself if you feel grounded here. And if the answer is no, then use that to set an intention. And then release your hands if you've got them over your legs. Take them out wide with a bend in the elbows, and now place the feet down on towards the ground. Make sure that your spine is comfortable. So if you need to walk your feet a little bit further away from you to bring a bit more length, do that. Equally, if you feel more comfortable and grounded with your feet closer towards your hips, then go ahead and honor that. And see if you can soften your head down, your shoulders down, and then let this breath, this Ujjayi breath, be really full, calm and steady as you inhale. And gentle and easy as you exhale. As you breathe in here, notice how the belly lifts automatically. Same as the chest, same as the heart. And as you breathe out, notice how everything draws back into the center line in the spine. We're going to start on the left side now. So we're going to go to half happy baby, okay? So if you lift the left knee in towards the chest, and just for a moment, grab both hands and either catch behind the leg, at the back of the knee, or the top of the shin. And rather than drawing the leg in towards your chest centrally, draw the knee slightly out towards the side. So it's more into the direction of the armpit. And then from here, go ahead and flex the left foot up towards the ceiling. You can release the right hand out to the side now, and without lifting the left shoulder blade off the ground, walk your hand as far as you can take it. That feels comfortable. So some of you might be keeping the hand on the back of the knee. Some of you may feel okay with grabbing the sole of the foot or the side of the foot. And then working with that Ujjayi breath, you could take a full breath in here. You'll feel everything expand still, even though there's a compression on the left side. And as you breathe out, there's an invitation to draw the knee down towards the ground, but go gentle, be kind. If you have the space in the hips, I'm going to give you two options from here. You can either keep the right foot exactly where it is. You could let the right knee wing out towards the side, so it takes a half butterfly to work on the inner, or you could extend the right leg out long and take your right hand and place it on your hip just to facilitate that sense of grounding. Now just calm breath in. Know that you always have a choice to intensify or to pacify. So if this feels difficult and too heated, maybe causing you a little bit of compression and pain, then back off. Maybe you catch the back of the left leg. Maybe you rebend the right knee. We're here for a few more breaths. One more full breath in. Okay, now just release the pose. Bend the left leg and bring both feet together if you can. If you want, feel free to press your hands into the top of the thighs and just press in. Maybe even sliding the hands a little bit further up. And then from here, please, lifting up the left leg, crossing the left leg over. Maybe just scooch the hips over to the left a little bit. And if you've got the pillow or the block, can you go ahead and move it to the right side? And as you come into your twist here, you want the left knee to hit the pillow. So you're not going as deeply into your twist as you normally would. Take the hands wherever's comfortable. For me, I'm going to place them on my hips, but some of you working in towards your shoulders might actually want to take them out that cactus arm again. Now breathing into the left side of the body. Of course, the right side, but it's the left side that feels open. And if you wanted to just give yourself a little bit of assist, Lou, this will help the hip flex and the OS muscle. Right hand, just pressing it into the center of the left thigh and just moving it down. You could do that with your breath. So inhale and then exhale, you press into the thigh. Okay. Calm, steady breath. All right, taking your time just to lift yourself back up. And then we're just going to uncross, recenter our hips, and we're going to take a moment in Shavasana here just to feel the difference between the left and the right side. Hands wherever feels most comfortable to you. Reconnect into our Ujjayi breath. Inhale in, soft and steady. Exhale in, soft and steady. Well done, everybody. Okay, let's take that on the right side. So in your own time, being very kind, super gentle, bending both knees, placing the sole of the feet down towards the ground. And then lifting your right knee up in towards the chest, maybe grabbing the back of the thigh or the front of the shin, drawing the knee in, and then slightly over to the right armpit. With the left hand taking it out, and then extending the left foot or the right foot up. And then from here, keeping the shoulder on the floor, just taking that right hand to wherever's possible, and then drawing the knee in if it feels comfortable to do so. So remember, full breath in. There, you got it, Angela. Calm breath out. It's a practice of awareness. So to anchor yourself in the presence of your breath is the biggest gift that you can give yourself now. Maybe doing something slightly different that you did on the opposite side, but just honoring where your body is and just working with the reality of what you've got. So that left leg, it could either stay put, you could either come to half butterfly, or you could extend the left leg. Breathe in here. Might feel strong, the pose, but just trying to find a little sense of softness as well. So what we call Sthiram Sukhamasana. So trying to find a pose that is comfortable but also steady. That space between challenge and ease. One more breath in here. Okay, as you breathe out, releasing, bending both knees, bringing the feet together, knees center, and then crossing the right leg over the left. If you've got hold of that block or that cushion, take it over towards the left side. Taking the arms wherever's comfortable, and then rotating and twisting over towards the left. That top knee could rest on the cushion. So rather than going to your full range of motion, can you be strong enough to know that it's okay to do a little less today? That actually there's a lot more strength at times when we back off. That maybe doing less can provide the space to do so much more. See if you can apply that now to your breathing here. Can you breathe in more gently and calmly? Can you breathe out more steadily? Few more breaths here. And then really take your time, okay? So allow yourself to untwist. Allow yourself the release in a sweet shavasana here. Noticing any changes in the energy or the flow that occurs within you. Welcoming those changes and breathing into them with as much ease and kindness as you possibly can. And then give yourself the opportunity to breathe as expansively and long as you possibly can. So inhale in here. And then open in the mouth as if you're coming back to that foggy window. Feel the belly draw back into the spine. Now go ahead and reach your arms up over your head, maybe pointing through the feet. Stretch and take a full body stretch as you breathe in. Knees to chest as you breathe out. Grabbing hold of the back of the knees perhaps, and then taking a few rolls up and down your mat. So now going from something that was quite considered to something a little bit more fluid. Awesome. All right, and however you get here, coming into your tabletop. So just take your time, no rush. If you know that you've got really sensitive knees, again, you could use your pillows on the knees, or you could double fold the mat. And then manipulating and moving the whole of the spine, cat-cow here, okay? So allow the tailbone to ascend upwards as the belly descends. Shoulder blades squeeze, throat opens, place of truth. Breathe to where you can, and then as you breathe out, reverse it. So chin through chest, spread the shoulder blades, lift the belly up, tailbone descends. Keep this going, working with the own breath. So it's your own cadence. Great. Maybe for some of you, just closing down the eyes so that you can start to internalize. So the spine, in yoga, we call it the Sushumna, the energy channel. The energetics of this can reveal a lot about how we're feeling physically and emotionally. So notice any areas of tension, any areas that feel good, maybe a little bit more free. And the invitation now is to walk into the areas of tension or darkness. So if it's the shoulders, move them a little bit more. Don't be bound by going up and down. Take it any direction, okay? Head, it might be head, it might be hips. You might feel that stillness is something that you need to embrace and face. So just allowing yourself to really check in. So yoga actually is about facing the reality of living and breathing for ourselves, being in our bodies. And even during the times that are challenging, if we can invite this calm and steady breath, this sense of acceptance and curiosity, then that can transpose to our ability to live with a greater sense of acceptance off our mats. A few more breaths. Okay. From here, let's take a thread the needle. So we're going to do it on the right side. So take your hips a little bit wider than you would be used to. Pressing down through the left hand. As you breathe in, you can reach your right arm up. As you exhale, bend the left elbow, slide the right hand underneath, Connect the shoulder to the ground. Now, rather than allowing the hand to draw down towards the hip, lift the right arm up as best as you can. From here, take the left hand and grab hold of the right palm or the right wrist and pull the right arm away from you. As you do that, can you draw the left hip in towards you? Can you press down through the right knee? And maybe tilt the chin down. Might help you feel a greater stretch on the shoulders here. Taking a calm breath in and a steady breath out. You got it. Deep breathing. But not so deep that it causes anxiety. You also want it to create steadiness. Okay. From here, release the grip with the left hand. Place the left hand back in its position, just by the face underneath the shoulders. And as you breathe in, press down to reach the right arm all the way up. And then exhale, taking it back down. We're going to stay on the right side. So can you move your hands a little bit further forward? And then as you breathe in, start to send the weight forward, lower all the way down towards the ground. Now take your hands out to a T. Slide now your left hand so it's underneath. We're going to do open wings, also known as broken wings, but broken wings doesn't sound very good, so let's call it open. You're going to roll over to the right side. So imagine that you're stacking the right hip on top of the left and pause in here. So you're going to feel a stretch across the right side of the body. A few things that you can stay. If you don't want your head to hover, lower it down or use the pillow underneath it. And then go to where it's possible for you. Some of you would be okay lifting up the left leg. You could press it in front of you, or you could step it behind you. The further behind you go back, the more stretch you're going to get across the chest and also the shoulder blade. Now you might hit a little bit of compression, and if that is comfortable, it doesn't cause you pain, but maybe it just feels sensation, then can you sit with it and breathe into it? And if you feel that you could get more of a sensation through it, feel free to reach the right arm up rather than down. Deep breathing. Calm breath. So you're opening up the whole vata region of the body, the part of the body that's responsible for the respiratory system and also the circulatory system. So with that in mind, can you give your lungs and heart some love? So breathe into that area of compassion and truth. It's unconditional love, this area. So can you breathe in that compassion? And can you breathe it out as well? Let's take one more full breath in together. All right, as you exhale, can you please come down to lie back down? Awesome. Please take a pillow with your hands. So bend the elbows, take the right hand over the left and rest the forehead down. Notice the right and the left side of the body, especially the back lungs. And breathing in there. You might feel more spacious in the right side. Go with that. And then from here, you can lift your head up, coming into Sphinx pose. So forearms down on the ground. If you have the support of a bolster and you want to take that, you could just slide it underneath you. Now, the further forward it is, the less of a back bend it will be. The further back, obviously, the higher the back bend. Obviously, you don't need that, but we're going to actually work into the OS muscle now on the right side. So from here, can you bend the right leg? And then some of you might feel comfortable catching the right. If this feels too much on the left side, slide the hand forward and release the forehead down. And then from here, flex the right foot and draw the shin backwards. If you feel comfortable there, lift the right thigh up. If you feel at all pinchy in the left side, lower down. Calm breathing. If you wanted to make this less active, deactivate the foot and then draw the heel towards you. Maybe lift the knee up instead. So you know you always have choices. Is that hitting the spot, Lou? Good. I'm so excited. I can see you on my telly now, everybody, and you all look big and beautiful. It's changed from like having a tiny 8-inch screen. Take one more full breath in. And then as you breathe out, release it gently. Take the left hand, bend the elbow, right hand on top, and go ahead and return back to this position. Relax the glutes, they've done an awful lot of work for you now. And then feel the aftertone. So you might feel your heart race. Your right side might feel longer than your left side. And you know, all of this stuff just allows you to wake up. That's all it is, bringing your awareness to your body and your breath so that you can tune in and feel alive on the inside. So I think we need to go ahead and do all of that on the other side. So if you take your hands underneath your shoulders, in fact, maybe just a little bit more underneath. And then take a full breath in. Lift yourself up to your tabletop as you breathe out. Reposition yourself as you need to. Maybe knees a little bit wider. So thread the needle on the left side. It's taken serious when you take your tops off, isn't it? Reach your left arm up as you breathe in. As you exhale, thread the needle through. Remember, you've got your right hand that you can grab hold of the left wrist or the palm. You're pulling the left arm away from you. And then slightly turn the chin down. Do have a wiggle with the hips. See if the wiggle just changes the sensation in a favorable way for you that you can sustain and maintain. And then breathe here. Great. And so just ask yourself, are you being kind? Are you being compassionate? So not just in the physical posture, but also, and perhaps more importantly, the mind. So mind matter factor. Last breath in. Okay, taking the right hand when you're ready, steadying yourself, planting that hand down and towards the ground, pressing down and taking a full breath in and lifting the left arm up, opening up through the chest, taking yourself back down to tabletop. This time, walking the knees back a little bit, and then draw the pit of the belly in and up as you start to descend, taking as much time as you need, lowering all the way down. And then coming in to your T shape. So from here, we now roll over to the left side. The right hand draws back. presses down. You may lift the right leg up and you access the pose where it works, open wings. Some of you who are very open in the shoulder blades, I'll show you on the other side, could actually take that right hand round and interlace the hands here. And that really opens up both shoulders at the same time. It's not essential. Remember that you're working with your frame. Tolerating the consequences and the reality of being yourself. So working with what you've got, doing what you can, and breathing through that. Steady breath. Ujjayi as well. Okay, on your next exhale, allow yourself to roll back over to the belly. This time bending the right forearm and placing the left hand on top, lowering the forehead down towards the ground. And breathing into the back of the lungs. You've got more tissue in the back of the lungs than you do in the front of the lungs. So if you can access and breathe into the back line, you start to work the muscles and the tissues a lot more. So you, over time, can or could increase your capacity to breathe with more prana, with more energy. Most of us only use about 15% of our lungs. Imagine if we used more. Okay, and then from here, ready in for Sphinx. And then lifting up the left leg. See if you can catch the foot. If you feel any pinching in the lower back, lengthen the right hand down towards the floor. Know that you can use your bolsters or your pillows here. Have a go at flexing the foot first. Shin draws away and knee lifts up. Again, if that pinches, you lower down. So you can always refine and adjust. And that's the beauty of yoga, allowing it to be malleable. It changes. So you could, as I said, relax the foot and then draw it in and instead lift the knee up. Keep anchored in the awareness of your breath, your ujjayi. Let's take 2 more breaths. One more full breath in. And then as you breathe out, please relax. Leg, right elbow bends, left hand sits on top of it. Forehead back down. Tuning into the flow. Observing how you feel through this flow. So do you feel any change in temperature? Do you feel aware of the fluctuations in the mind? And you know what's really healthy is to have a look and observe the mind and go, what kind of thought is this? Is this a thought that's anchored in the present? Great, let me breathe with it. Acknowledging if it's past or future and just labeling it as so. And then returning back to your breathing here. And from here, if we can just move back to child's pose. So beginning where we started or ending where we started, the asana part of the practice, and just notice how you're feeling now. Awesome. Okay, guys. So what asana is to the body, pranayama, breath work or breath expansion is to the mind. And the aim of pranayama, according to the traditions of the beautiful Yoga Sutras, is that the result of pranayama is that which is where the covering of light is removed. And what light is that? Well, that's your light. That's the luminosity of the soul within you. So please come up to a comfortable seat. We're going to explore two types of breathing today. Kapalbhati, skull shining or fire breath. And then we'll move into a more subtle form of Ujjayi breath, which is what you've been practicing. So what is Kapalbhati? How do you practice that? A very simple way is just to place your hand on your stomach and you will take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, focus on the exhale. The belly draws in. So again, we take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, feel the stomach draw in. Now we focus on the exhales in Kapalbhati and the inhales take care of themselves. So a finished product would kind of look and sound like this. Now, you could use your hand to kind of guide in. Remember, it's the exhalations that you're concentrating on. The inhales take care of themselves. And it doesn't matter how fast or slow you go, just so long as it's rhythmic, steady, and balanced. Okay? So if it's comfortable for you and you wish to close your eyes, please do that. Feel free to rest your hand on your belly. Take a breath in, a breath out. Take a breath in about 3/3 of the way, and then start your Kapalbhati breath now. Just pulsing the breath out, focusing on the exhales, letting the inhales take care of themselves, keeping the spine as steady as you possibly can. And keeping the cadence of this steady for the next 5 seconds or so. Please release the practice, breathe naturally and breathe into the luminosity of the light that you have just created, the lightness that you could potentially feel now. Welcome in that flow of energy, welcome in that heat. And we'll go again, okay? So when you're ready, give yourself a cycle of breath in to prepare. Breathing out, and then breathe in about 3/3 of the way. Kapalbhati again, second round. Steady consistency. You could be doing it slowly. You could be doing it rapidly, so long as it's steady. About another 10 seconds here. If you feel anxious at any time, just drop the practice and catch us back up when you're ready. Releasing round 2 of Kapalbhati, please. Feeling the internal vibration and the luminosity within you. So it's our practice, it's our pursuit of our practice that helps us to go deeper, to lift the veil of darkness, to uncover our light. It's not always easy. But it can definitely be fruitful. We're going to do one more round of Kapalbhati, okay? So as you're ready, inhaling, exhaling, then breathing in about 3/4. And when you're ready, last round. Shoulders relaxed, spine neutral. It's the exhales that you focus on. Last 10 seconds. Let the Kapalbhati practice go. And now come back to the practice of Ujjayi breathing. So with Ujjayi, we seek to create a slight restriction in the glottis muscles, which are the throat or the whisper muscles, so that we regulate the balance of breath coming in and coming out. Rather than this practice be about creating an audible sound, can you focus on having no sound, but just feeling that vibration of Ujjayi? Again, maybe taking in 3/4 of breath in and out, so you can really balance the breathing, what we call samavriti breathing. And this really is the foundation of your pranayama practice here. As you stay in the presence of your soundless but vibrational Ujjayi, your awareness is unfolding. Mind is quietening, and awareness is unfolding. The covering of light is removed. Feel free to be here or to progress by taking a breath in from the heart, moving and watching the breath move down and towards the pelvic bowl. And then from the pelvic bowl, as you breathe out, back up to the heart. So you're watching the wave of your Ujjayi descend from heart anahata down to pelvic bowl, back from pelvic bowl, Muladhara, back to heart anahata. It's a subtlety. And now there is an opportunity for you, if you feel that you have the capacity, to pause momentarily for as long as you feel comfortable after your exhale, and rest in that space between heart, compassion, and root, stability. And for however long you pause there, maybe feeling that energy and that vibration there before beginning again. You're resting in the quality of your presence, the suspension of your space, where the spirit meets physical and spiritual. So here you are being your own teacher, and what we call guru. And the definition of guru is dispeller of darkness and bringer of light. So using the tools that we have within ourselves to reveal the best of ourselves. And if that's not possible, then just being in the practice, contemplating and meditating on it, and trying to face and embrace. You're welcome now to sit here quietly in your seat for meditation, or to rest totally and surrender into Shavasana. And before you allow yourself to be swept up with the rest of your day, however that might flow, can you flow with your breathing once more? Consciously working with it, owning it, being peaceful with it. Taking any movements now that allow you to connect to your physical body. If you're in your Shavasana, take your time to come up to your seated position. And either bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra, Namaste at heart center, or just place one hand on your heart, rest the other on top. You have all that you need within you to become the best of you. And so, to quote Remy, all that I need to be is no more or less than a breath within me. Please take a deep breath in, lift your heart up, celebrate that, open it. As you exhale, chin to chest, bow into yourself, to that luminous, unchanging, soulful self. Thank yourself for your practice. Grateful for our community. And together we say, Namaste.